Good evening YouTube, and welcome to my very first Warhammer YouTube video. Inspiration behind this is twofold really. I've been subscribed to a few sort of channels on YouTube watching Warhammer battle reports etc. for a few months, and a couple of weekends ago myself and a friend went and had a weekend of gaming with Aid and Andy from Wargaming for Fun YouTube channel. If you haven't seen their channel, it's well worth a subscription. We do some very good battle reports and a few little sort of basic painting things as well. And also, there's a very local to myself in the south of the UK, a 2,000 point 1 day 3 battles tournament coming up in just over 4 weeks time on the 12th of May of this year. So the theory behind it was to start a new army, hopefully purchase it, assemble it, get it painted, all within the 4.5 weeks, also on a budget. Didn't want to spend any more than about £100 on it really. The wife seems to think a new kitchen is more important than model soldiers. I've sort of tried not to agree with her too much, but every now and then you just have to sort of say yes, just to make them think they're winning. But basically the theory behind it, obviously you can see a Gorgon there. I haven't actually got one of those in my army. I've got the model. It's a lovely model, but 275 points in a 2,000 point game is just way too much. However, there is a possibility it will come onto the table, and I'll explain that to you in a little while. Basically run through the army with you and what I've got so far. The black model there is literally going to be my army general. He is a beast lord. All he's going to be equipped with is a great weapon and the blackened plate, which is just some armour out of the beastmen book. Gives him a 2-up armour save against any flaming attacks and gives his unit a 4-up armour save. I'm going to keep him nice and cheap. And say it's only a 2,000 point tournament, and don't really be spending too many points on individual models. Next to him I have a Gorball. He's only the hero of choice. All he's going to have is heavy armour and extra hand weapons. Currently at the moment I haven't purchased any magical items, but I'm hoping to get some inspiration from some of you guys in YouTube land. Beastman for myself is very new. It's a very underrepresented army in my area. Never played against it, so hopefully somebody out there will be able to give me some inspiration on what to spend a few extra points on. Then I've got my Wargore Battle Standard Bearer. He is currently the only model I have in my army that is painted. He cost me 50p. I purchased him way back last summer from a boot fair. He's been sat in a box doing nothing, so I thought, oh well, it'll be an excellent start to the army. The model itself is fairly basically painted. It's a 40k orc converted up, but I do like the standard. It's got a lovely little bit of freehand on it. It looks pretty decent on the table. So there he is. He's going to have nothing but the battle standard and heavy armour. I'm going to say again, keep him as cheap as possible. I know obviously you could have the beast banner, but at 75 points that's quite an expensive banner just to get a unit with +1 strength, especially in such a small points costed tournament. Onto my core. I've got 30 Gores. Basically, all they're going to have is shields and a full command. Keep them nice and cheap. Hopefully, they're only 7 points each, well 8 points with the shields. So hopefully they can tie up some stuff for a little while and give me a fairly decent solid core. Got 2 units of those, another unit there. They're exactly the same. They've just got shields and a full command. I want to keep them nice and cheap. Then I've got 5 Minotaurs. They've got extra hand weapons, they've got a champion, they've got a standard bearer. The Gore Ball's going to go into those, Battle Standard Bearer is going to go into one unit of the Gore, and the Beast Lord's going to go into another. As I said, trying to do this army on a budget. Most of this stuff I've purchased off of eBay, and currently I've got 2 chariots, 10 warhounds, and 1 chaos spawn. Also in the post, which are going to be going in this army, but hopefully I'll purchase those last week, so they should be with me later on this week. The only things I've got left to purchase to complete the army is a shaman at level 2 with Law of the Wild. Basically fitted him in because obviously he's using the lore out of the Beastman book. I like to keep the armies fairly fluffy. I'm not a power gamer. I just play with what I think looks good on the table. So he's going to have that, and so that's where the Gorgon comes in. Obviously, it's only a 3-game, 1-day tournament. Chances are at one point I might manage to roll the 6 to get the spell that can summon up a Gorgon. If I manage to get it off sort of once over the course of the weekend, I'll be quite happy with that. It's a 275 point model free of charge, and that would be lovely. If I don't get it, then great. When I expand the army, I'll already have the Gorgon, it'll already be painted, and away we go. The only other things I need to purchase are 2 other shamans, one at level 1, which is going to be Law of Beast, just so I can have wild form, and the other one's going to be a level 1. Can't remember if it's going to be Death or Shadow. It's whichever one the basic spell is. Miasma. I think that's an excellent spell. Casting level of 5, 48 inch range. I think it's brilliant. You can't get much better than that. It's not going to be a game winner, but hopefully it can turn a combat or assist in a failed charge for my opponent. A little bit about myself. Been playing Warhammer for a long time. Probably way back in the early 90s I started playing when I was still at school. Normally play ogres. Have been my army of choice for the last couple of editions of the game. Played Bretonians and vampire counts as well. As I say, beastmen very underrepresented in my area. None of my friends play them. Fed up with seeing lots of warriors of chaos and empire armies, and especially dark elves. Don't really suit my playing style, so decided to go for the beastmen. I also like the fact that the beastmen should be fairly easy to paint, I hope. My painting is far from Golden Demon standard, but I kind of hope that I should be able to get these painted up and looking fairly decent on the tabletop within that 4-week time period. I'm kind of hoping that Aid from Wargaming for Fun is going to throw some paint on some Minotaurs for me. Hopefully if he does that, and he might even do a painting tutorial or video on that, but I'll leave that one down to him. As I say, I will post up some videos of the painting as it progresses. I'll try and get one video up a week. I'm going to try a couple of different techniques that I haven't tried before. I'm going to try the Army Painter quick shading technique on one unit of the Gauls. I've seen it. It looks quite good. I've never tried it myself, so I'm going to give it a go and see what the results are. On the other unit of Gauls, I should just do the standard, a little bit of ink washing, a little bit of highlighting, and see how they go. Get them based up, and if I have time, I will go over them. As I say, my painting is not Golden Demon standard. I'm never going to win any points for the best painted army at any tournament, but I just hope that they look fairly decent on the table. As I said, all in all, that comes to about 1970 points. Got about 30 points left to play around with. As I don't really know the beastmen that well. I'm just going to sort of turn up at the tournament, have 3 games. If I can win one of them over the course of the weekend, I'll be happy with that. As long as I don't get tabled in every other game, I'm sort of going to be a happy chap, really. But I am open to sort of suggestions. If anyone sort of out there plays beastmen, or can sort of suggest a couple of little combos that I can sort of squeeze in, I'll be sort of more than open to listening to them. As I said, this is my very first video, but camera work is not the best in the world, but hopefully we can have fun, and I will get some videos up of the battles as well over the course of the weekend and get those posted. Have fun and see you soon.